Hi everybody, my name is JW Salazar. I want to thank you for checking me out on the YouTube channel or listening via podcast. I wanted to spend a little bit of time letting you know a little bit about who I am and what it is that I hope to do with this forum. I have a lovely wife, a fantastic son, and just a really good group of friends. And throughout this, I'm hoping to introduce you to them, to myself, learn a little bit more about them and a little bit more about me as I interact with them throughout the course of our time together in presenting some of these videos and podcasts that ultimately I'm just hoping will be a lot of fun. I want to be able to create content that will make you laugh. I want to be able to create content that will get you thinking. I believe that there is a really good audience of people who, much like myself, are pretty middle of the road when it comes to a lot of things in life. Sports fans, but not fanatics. Political views, religious beliefs, one way or the other, but not in such a way that it is preachy or where you cannot come to terms with somebody if they do not agree with the same ideological philosophies that you have. And I'm hoping that this is a forum to help people learn, to help people laugh, and to help people love a little bit. And that's not unique, but it really is something from the people that I follow on podcasts, on videocasts, that I really like the realm that they come from when it comes to what their opinions are, and just really wanting to have some fun with what it is that they do while creating some really great content. So I hope to be able to share that with you. I hope to be able to give you something that allows you to spend some time throughout your day, whatever it is that you're doing, and just enjoy what it is that you're watching or what it is that you're hearing. I look forward to being able to talk about sports. I look forward to being able to talk about current events and entertainment. I really want to talk about some of the little stories that I read about every day of people just like you and me who are doing really cool things, or just about fun, interesting facts and sharing those. I certainly want to delve into some of the things in society that I consider to be a little antithetical to a group of people who come together for a good common cause, and kind of root out the reasons why some people are that way, why some people, for seemingly no reason at all, live miserable existence, and just kind of delve into that a little bit. I really want to talk about issues to me that help me learn and grow as a person. I want to be able to engage with people whose opinions vary greatly from mine so that I can find out a little bit more about where they come from and why their views are focused the way that they are, what sculpted those particular views, whether I agree with them or not, whether they agree with me or not, or whether you all agree with one of us, the other of us, or no one whatsoever, just as a way to be able to create a discourse that is based more in respect and civility than what it is accusing people of certain things based solely on an opinion that nobody knows anything about, or asking them about their stance in a way that is more of an accusation than a question, and thus causes people to be defensive from the onset. I think that there's a lot of that, and that creates a lot of the divisiveness that we see in society, but I really do believe that there's a lot more that brings us together than what separates us. I don't think that as many people are into identity politics, let's just say as an example, as it's made to believe. I think that people who have a political view that may differ from others feel that they have to defend that particular viewpoint because people don't take the time to want to understand where they're coming from. And these are just a few things and a few of the topics that I want to talk about, but ultimately I want to be able to have some fun with you. I want to be able to make you laugh. I want to be able to get you to think. And I hope that this finds a great audience. Doesn't matter how many people seek this out. For those of you who do, I just hope that it's something that you enjoy and that we can create a little bit of content that makes your day a little brighter, a little funnier, a little happier, or just gives you something to ponder on. And I want to end this little segment of introducing myself by talking about what ultimately led to this video being shot as it is right now. Today is Oscar Sunday. It is February 10th. And a couple of weeks ago, as I was making breakfast for my wife and son, my son showed me the report from TMZ about the helicopter crash with Kobe Bryant. Now, I am a die-hard Lakers fan, grew up with my father, who's a Laker fan, and I grew up in the Magic, Kareem, Worthy, Jabbar, Cooper, AC Green, I can go on forever, Kurt Rambis, all those guys. That was me growing up, Lakers versus Celtics. And continued to be a fan all throughout the Kobe and Shaq, the Kobe and Gasol, all of those great teams, and then been kind of trying to stay with them a little bit in those leaner years, and of course now things are looking up. But when my son showed me the posting there from TMZ, initially I didn't really think much of it. I had had a pretty long night with some friends the evening before, wasn't feeling great, but mostly I think it was just not wanting to believe that something like that was true. And once it turned out, unfortunately, that it was, I spent all day glued to the TV, initially just on ESPN2, where they were carrying the broadcast of it commercial free for just hours, interviewing person after person. And even though I was a fan, or am a fan of the Lakers, certainly was a Kobe fan, I didn't really appreciate everything that he did outside of basketball to push himself to be successful and to be great. And I remember listening to Stephen A. Smith when he was being interviewed. This is first thoughts. Everybody's, still very emotional, of course. But I remember Stephen A. talking about how Kobe would challenge people when he heard about an idea that they had. And he would ask them question after question to dig into it, to find out how serious they were about something versus just what was pie in the sky. And I had wanted to do this for a very long time. I thought that it would connect with an audience. I thought that I would just have some fun doing it. And again, I thought that I would be able to learn a lot about me as a person, as a husband, as a father, as a son, as a friend. And listening to Stephen A. talk about how Kobe would challenge people to find out, are you really serious about this? Or is it something that you're just talking about versus taking action to complete? And in that moment, I realized, man, I've really just, in a lot of things that I want to do and I know that I can do, I've been more of a talker than a doer. And in my life, in the way that I preach, whether it's professionally or it's as a father trying to set a good example, it's always been about, don't tell me what you're going to do, show me what you've done. And that hit home a little bit with the realization that I was all talk when it came to a couple of things that I really wanted to do, this included. So here we are a couple of weeks later, and now I finally have my act together, got the equipment and the gear that I needed to do this, have a lot of great ideas. I'm really looking forward to sharing those. So I'm not trying to say that I was inspired by Kobe or anything like that that would diminish his legacy, regardless of what it is that you feel about him as a person, his highs, his lows. I don't think that anybody should be judged on their worst, the worst part about them or the worst thing about them. I also don't think that things should be glossed over when you're trying to make somebody a hero. I just want to say that I appreciate listening to Stephen A. Smith, listening to all the people that were so impacted by all of these things that this human being did outside of his sport and the lives that he touched. And so it motivated me to finally quit talking about doing something that I really had a passion for in my mind and make it from a theoretical application to a practical application. So with that said, I hope that this finds some people who think that what I do makes sense to them, that they enjoy it, and ultimately I hope to bring you a lot of fun and have some good times together. So with that being said, I appreciate you letting me introduce myself and hope to have some good times here in the future. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks.